Morning students, this is MMPC 012 Strategic Management. We are going to discuss Block 2 Environmental Analysis, Unit 5 Competitive Analysis. This unit continues the study of external environmental scanning by emphasizing the critical role of competitive analysis. It introduces key frameworks that help organizations, companies, government offices, private offices assess and understand their competitive positioning in their respective, industry field. Central to this understanding is the identification and evaluation of competitor strategies. Who are our competitors? What are their strategies? Competitors' weaknesses, competitors' strengths, and responses to external environment forces. The unit integrates Porter's 5 forces framework, strategic groups, scenario planning, social media competitive analysis, and the competitive profile metrics as tools for a holistic competitive assessment. An organization's ability to strategies, what are the objectives of our competitor, the company who is in the same, line of production, and what are their strategies, their response to external factors, how they respond to external factors, their market position and vulnerability to alternative strategies, entry and exit of firms, sales and profitability trends, supplier distributor relationships, threats from substitute products. So the key elements affecting competitiveness include competitor objectives and strategies, their response to external pestle factors, market position and vulnerability to alternative strategies, entry and exit of firms, sales and profitability trends, whether the sales are increasing, how is the trend if we compare the sales of 5 years, and what should the company do for increasing the sales. Then same way profitability, whether profits earned each year, they are increasing. Then how is our relationship with distributors, supplier distributor relationship. Then threats from substitute products, the products which are substitute, which are used as substitutes, which serve the purpose, same purpose which our product is serving. So what are their threats? If suppose their price is less, people will buy those products, people will not buy our product. Now Porter's 5 forces framework. Michael Porter's 5 forces framework is a foundational model for analyzing industry competition. It evaluates how 5 distinct competitive forces shape every market and impact profitability. Threat of new entrants, this is the first force. Second force is bargaining power of suppliers. Third force is bargaining power of buyer. Fourth force is threat of substitutes. Fifth force is competitive rivalry. Now threat of new entrants. If suppose you are manufacturing one particular item. Now say if we take the example of our country, any other new company or firm can start producing that particular commodity. There is no restriction from the government side. You see, if in one particular area there is one shop, if you see another shop, another person wants to open the shop of that, you see, same you see a type of shop, government, there is no restriction from the government, you see. And of course, if he applies for, you see, finance, then banks sees, you see, whether the proposal is economically viable, technically feasible, whether the, you see, shopkeeper will have, you see, sales, you see, so that he may be in a position to pay the EMIs. You see, already there are how many shops of that particular commodity in that area. So that is, you see, considered by banks. That also while giving finance. If the person wants to do with his own money, there is no need. The bank will not. Bank is not at all there in the picture. That person will have only a current account in the bank. So threat of new entrants. You see, anybody can enter. Any new, you see, person can enter in the market and, you see, start selling the same, you see, product. So this threat plays very important, you see, role. And then, you see, bargaining power of suppliers. The suppliers who are, you see, giving the goods, you see, how much price we can, you see, how much price can, you see, we can ask them to reduce. Suppose we purchase in bulk quantities, you see, they will definitely reduce the price. If we pay immediately, you see, cash, if cash payment is done immediately, then also they will, you see, reduce the price. So what is their power? What is their, you see, bargaining power? So that we have to see. And next is buyers, bargaining powers of buyers. You see how much now that particular, you see, good, you see, that buyer, you see, how much, you see, he will like to reduce the price, you see. So that bargaining powers of buyers also, we see. If suppose in one particular, you see, market, if you are the only, you see, you are only selling that particular item, so you will not reduce the price. If there are, you see, 5 shops in that particular market selling the same commodity, then naturally, you see, shopkeepers, they will reduce the price, and so that their sales take place, you see. Then now next is threat of substitutes, you see. Say for example, any other substitute is there which is serving the same purpose. So by that also sales will reduce. So that also threat is there. Then last, you see, force is competitive rivalry. Now we come to the next, you see, slide. That is threat of new entrants, those who are entering the market, their threat. New competitors may disrupt market, you see, dynamics by increasing production capacity and capturing market share, you see. To deter them, existing firms, you see, erect barriers such as, you see, the people who are already in that field, what barriers they, you see, erect. First barrier is economic of scale. Lower cost due to large scale production. If you see, if your production is, you see, large, naturally the fixed costs will remain, you see, same. You see, if you are manufacturing, you see, 10,000 units of a particular commodity in 1 month, and if you increase your production to 20,000, so the fixed cost will remain the same. Only the variable costs, say raw material, etc., they will vary. So that way you can reduce your cost price. You can reduce your cost price. When the cost price is reduced, naturally you can sell that item, you see, at a lesser price than your other, you see, competitors. Then learning, you see, curve advantages, efficient operations from accumulated, you see, experience. Then cost disadvantages due to proprietary technology, patents, or cheaper, you see, locations. The next is brand loyalty, emotional customer attachment to established, you see, brands. If a person is using, you see, he is emotionally attached with Colgate, you see, toothpaste. So for years together, he will keep on using Colgate only. He will not shift his, you see, toothpaste, some other toothpaste, he will not shift to some other toothpaste. Next is, you see, capital requirements, high investments, you see, that discourage, you see, entry. If suppose the product is such that high investment is required for that. So new entrants, you see, they will not enter. Switching costs, you see, customer costs, financial or psychological, to change brands, you see, distribution access, dominance of existing players in supply chains, then regulatory and policy, you see, barriers, government imposed limits, you see, on entry. Now, bargaining power of, you see, suppliers, we come on the second force, that is bargaining power of suppliers. Suppliers can, you see, influence pricing, product quality, and terms. Their power increases when the buyer's volume is low. If suppose your requirement is of low, you see, quantity, so then supplier will, you see, uh, use his, you see, bargaining power. Then next is, you see, the supplier's product is critical to the buyer, you see. Then third point is few suppliers control a, you see, large market share, you see. Then next is switching suppliers is, you see, costly for buyers. And next point is suppliers can integrate forward into the buyer's market. Next is bargaining power of, you see, buyers. Buyers gain powers when, you see, products are undifferentiated, you see. They are sensitive to price, you see, changes. They possess detailed cost information. Buyers purchase in large volumes or are concentrated. Buyers can integrate, you see, backward into supply chains. Next force is, you see, threat of substitutes. Substitutes from outside the industry can cap prices and erode market share. Their threat is, you see, high. If substitutes are, you see, attractively priced, you see, then they match the quality or performance of industry products. Customers can easily, you see, switch. For example, you see, now uh, the substitute of any particular item, if it is, you see, serving the same purpose and the price is, you see, half of that, you see, product, naturally people will go for substitutes because they will save money. You see, that is the human nature, that is the human tendency. Next, you see, threat is competitive rivalry. You see, rivalry is most intense in industries with, you see, unstable environments due to technology, due to regulation or customer changes. Then short-lived competitive advantages, you see, as they are in electronics. Then you see aggressive goals, that is market share, you see, dominance. Then next is strong strategic moves by one firm that provoke retaliatory actions. Now, Porter's five forces framework, you see. Now, what Porter says, you see, threat of new entrants, you see, low barriers to entry, low capital needs, you see, weak brand loyalty, bargaining power of suppliers, few suppliers, critical input, high switching, you see, cost, potential forward, you see, integration. Then bargaining power of, you see, buyers, standardized products, informed buyers, large purchase volume, threat of substitutes, you see, better price performance, low switching cost, high acceptability, then competitive rivalry, many competitors, you see, slow market growth, lack of differentiation. So what Porter, you see, says about five forces, you see, the first force is, you see, threat of new entrants. Its impact is high, you see, when there are low barriers to entry, low capital needs, weak brand, you see, loyalty. The next force is bargaining power of suppliers. Its impact is high when there are few suppliers. There is critical input. There is high switching cost. There are potential, forward integration. The next force is, bargaining power of, buyers. Its impact is high when, there are standardized products. There are informed buyers. There is large, purchase volume. The next force is threat of substitutes. Its impact is high when there is better price performance. Then there is low switching cost, and there is high, acceptability. And the last force is competitive rivalry. Its impact is high when there are many, competitors, and there is slow market growth, and there is lack of, differentiation. Now we come on next, that is strategic groups. Strategic groups are clusters of firms within an industry that adopt similar strategies. These are conceptual, not formal groupings, and help in understanding intra-industry competition. Firms may be grouped by, size, then market breadth, then product quality and geographic presence. So in this slide, we are studying, strategic groups. Strategic groups are, clusters of firms within an industry that adopt similar strategies. These are conceptual, not formal groupings, and help in understanding intra-industry competition. Firms may be grouped by, size. They are grouped by market breadth. They are grouped by product quality. They are grouped by geographic presence. Now we can understand this by examples. Within the automobile industry, strategic groups may include, compact cars, then SUVs and luxury vehicles. Recognizing these distinctions helps avoid inaccurate generalizations in industry and analysis, and allows for more tailored strategic responses. So we can understand this with an example. Within the automobile industry, strategic group may include compact cars. One group is compact cars, another group is SUVs, and third one is, luxury, vehicles. Recognizing these distinctions, helps avoid inaccurate generalizations in the industry analysis and allows for more tailored strategic responses. Next is scenario planning. Scenario planning involves constructing multiple future narratives to explore strategic possibilities under uncertain conditions. Unlike forecasting, which extends current trends, scenario planning introduces qualitative shifts and discontinuities. It forces strategies to rethink assumptions and anticipate, varied futures. So under scenario, scenario planning involves constructing multiple future narratives to explore strategic possibilities under uncertain conditions. Unlike forecasting, which extends current trends, scenario planning introduces qualitative shifts and discontinuities. It forces strategists to rethink assumptions and anticipate varied forces. Steps in scenario planning: identify issues, understand external factors, that is technology, politics, and economy. Next is, classify issues, categorize by uncertainty and impact. Third one is analyze and solve. Use a matrix, uncertainty versus impact, to prioritize. So Scenario planning, what are the steps? You see, the first step is identify issues. You see, what are the issues? Identify those issues. Understand external factors like technology, politics, and economy. Then classify issues. Categorize the issues by uncertainty and impact. Third one is, you see, analyze and solve. Use a matrix, uncertainty versus impact to prioritize. Scenario planning, you see, matrix mix, and you see what is the matrix mix and what is the action required. You see, in scenario planning, matrix mix is, you see, say for example, low impact, high certainty. This can be ignored or deprioritized. Next is, you see, low impact, low uncertainty. This matrix, you see, it is long-term considerations. The next is high impact, high uncertainty. Action for this particular matrix is, you see, it continuous, you see, monitoring and adaptive strategy. Then matrix category is high impact, low uncertainty. Action required is immediate attention and detailed planning. So we are discussing the matrices and the action. So the matrix is high impact and low uncertainty. You see, action required is immediate attention and detailed planning. Matrix is high impact, high uncertainty. Action required is continuous monitoring and adaptive strategy. Matrix is low impact, low uncertainty. Action required is long-term considerations. Matrix is low impact, high uncertainty. Action can be ignored or deprioritized. Now, social media competitive analysis. Social media competitive analysis, you see, benchmarks a company's digital performance against competitors. It uncovers insights into competitors' platforms and engagement strategies, audience response to competitor content, benchmarking digital success, identifying gaps in one's own, you see, social strategy. So under social media competitive analysis, we have seen social media competitive analysis benchmarks a company's digital performance against competitors. It uncovers insights into competitors' platforms and engagement strategies, audience response to competitor content, benchmarking digital success, identifying gaps in one's own social strategy. Steps include identifying competitors, gathering digital data, conducting SWOT analysis. Then next step is, you see, monitoring trends in real time. So the steps are identifying competitors, who are the competitors, identify them, gathering, you see, digital data, gather their digital data, then do, you see, SWOT analysis. So SWOT means strength, weakness, threats analysis. Then next is monitoring trends in real time. Now, competitive profile matrix CPM. Competitive profile matrix CPM. Competitive profile matrix CPM is a strategic tool to compare a firm's performance with competitors based on critical success factors. You see, steps to prepare, you see, competitive profile matrix are: identify CSF. CSF means, you see, critical success factors. Identify their critical success factors. Assign weights 0.0 to 1.0. reflect the importance of each factor. You see, what are the factors there? Then assign weights to those factors. Then rate each competitor. You see, 1 to 4. 4 is major strength and 1 is major, you see, weakness. Then calculate scores. You see, multiply weights by ratings for each factor and then sum up. So we are studying competitive profile matrix, CPM. CPM is a strategic tool to compare a firm's performance with competitors based on critical success factors. Steps to prepare CPM are identify CSF, identify critical success factors. What are the factors of their success? Critical factors. These may include, you see, innovation, customer loyalty, cost structure, you see, etc. Then assign weights 0 to 1, you see, reflect the importance of each factor. You see, you give the weight. Then rate each competitor. You see, each competitor you rate from 1 to 4. 4 is major strength and 1 is major weakness. Then calculate scores, multiply weights by ratings for each factor, and then sum up. Now, here we are, you see, learning it by example, you see. Now, CSF, you see, weight, competitor A rating into weight, competitor B rating into weight. Now, CSF is market share, then innovation. Market share weight is 0.12 and innovation weight is 0.10. Competitor, you see, rating, competitor A rating into weight, that is 3 into 0.12 is equal to 0.36. 4 into 0.10, that is 0.40. And total is, you see, in weight it is 1. In competitor A it is 2.41. And competitor B, you see, 4 into 0.12, that is 0.48. Under market share, under innovation, 3 into 0.10, it is equal to 0.30. Total is 2.89. Competitor B's higher score, you see, it is 2.89, and competitor A's score is, you see, 2.41, indicates stronger industry positioning. So competitor B is having stronger industry positioning. Now, competitive analysis is vital for understanding an organization's position in the industry. Porter's 5 forces framework offers deep insights into external pressures, while tools like strategic groups, scenario planning, and CPM aid in developing informed strategies. The effectiveness of a firm's competitive strategy hinges on its ability to navigate these forces better than its, you see, rivals. Social media analysis further strengthens this capability in a digitally, you see, driven world. So in this particular unit 5, we have seen the unit is competitive analysis. We have seen competitive analysis is vital for understanding an organization's position in the industry. Porter's 5 forces framework offers deep insights into external pressures, while tools like strategic groups, scenario planning, and CPM aid in developing informed strategies. The effectiveness of a firm's competitive strategy hinges on its ability to navigate these forces better than its rivals. Social media analysis, you see, further strengthens this capability in a digitally, you see, driven world. Now we come on the unit 6, that is internal analysis. While external analysis helps organizations assess opportunities and threats, internal analysis focuses on While external analysis helps organizations assess opportunities and threats, internal analysis focuses on understanding an organization's strengths and weaknesses to align internal capabilities with environmental demands. It emphasizes the importance of organizational capabilities, resource utilization, and strategic fit, which can offer a competitive edge even when external conditions are not, favorable. This unit introduces the resource-based view. In short, we write RBV, resource-based view, core competencies, value chain analysis, and tools like SWOT and internal factor evaluation, metrics, IFE, to comprehensively evaluate internal performance. Now, resource-based view, RBV. The resource-based view focuses on the internal resources and capabilities of an organization as key drivers of competitive advantage, initially emphasizing physical and human assets. The resource-based view later incorporated, facet, knowledge, the unspoken experience-based know-how that is often hard to replicate. So the resource-based view focuses on the internal resources and capabilities of an organization as key drivers of competitive advantage, initially emphasizing physical and human assets. The resource-based view later incorporated facet knowledge, the unspoken experience-based knowledge, know-how that is often hard to replicate. Under this model, resources must be, heterogeneous, differentiated from competitors. Next is immobile, difficult to transfer or replicate. Organizations are viewed as bundles of, assets, capabilities, and competencies. And competitive advantage arises when these are, managed better than competitors. So under resource-based view model, resources must be heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means resources should be differentiated from competitors. Resources must be, immobile, difficult to transfer, replicate. Organizations, companies are viewed as bundles of assets, capabilities, and competencies. And competitive advantage, arises when these are managed better than competitors. Types of resources are, assets. There are, tangible assets. There are intangible, assets. Tangible assets are like, cash, current assets, buildings, equipment, information technology, networks, etc. These tangible assets means which can be, converted into cash. They are tangible. In this, there are current assets, there are fixed assets. Current assets are like debtors, like cash, like stocks. They are all current assets. Fixed assets are like, in our buildings, our machinery, our equipments. Then intangible assets are like, goodwill, non-physical, yet valuable. They are non-physical, but they are, valuable. For example, one shop which was started by one person's grandfather. So it is, the shop is having, very good goodwill. People knows in that area, that particular shop, they are selling the best, So because of that goodwill, you see, which is earned by the grandfather of the present, you see, owner, you see. So you see, his sales are, you see, tremendous. So these are intangible, you see, assets like, you see, brand equity, organizational culture, then patents, then goodwills, then reputation. Then next, you see, type is, you see, capabilities. Next type of resource is capability. First type is tangible. We studied tangible assets. We studied intangible assets. We studied current assets, fixed assets. Then capabilities refer to the skills and proficiency in deploying assets effectively. For instance, two firms may have similar physical resources but different performance due to superior operational, you see, capabilities. In one, the manager is, you see, highly experienced. In another one, the manager is not much experienced. So the company in which, you see, the manager is, you see, very much experienced, there's naturally sales will be more than the company where the manager is new. Next, you see, type of resources, competencies, you see, reflect an organization's ability to perform tasks or activities. Core competencies, you see, are those that provide, you see, significant strategic value and are hard to imitate. So next, you see, sources, you see, competencies. Competencies reflect an organization's company's ability to perform tasks or activities. Core competencies, you see, are those that provide, you see, significant strategic value and are hard to, you see, copy. Now we come on examples of, you see, resources. Tangible, you see, assets. The examples are equipment and machinery, office property, then information technology infrastructure, then distribution networks. Intangible assets, you see, brand name, you see, skilled workforce, organizational culture, patents and proprietary, you see, knowledge. Now, under, you see, resources, the examples of, you see, resources are under tangible assets, you see, equipment and machinery, you see, all the machineries, all the equipments, they are our tangible assets. The moment we sell them, we get money, you see. Then property, companies, you see, property, if the property is in the name of the company or firm or office, you see, that is also tangible. It can be sold, you see, immediately and will get money. Then information technology infrastructure, that is also tangible assets. Then distribution of products, you see, networks, they are also all tangible, you see, assets. Now intangible assets are brand name, skilled workforce, organization culture, patents and proprietary knowledge. For this also, you see, we get money. Now strategic importance of, you see, resources. Resources can be divided into threshold resources, unique resources. Threshold resources, basic capabilities required to compete in the industry. Then unique resources, distinctive assets that offer sustained competitive, you see, advantages. Organizations must deploy resources to develop core competencies which can be evaluated using VRIO framework. So strategic importance of resources are resources can be divided into threshold resources, unique resources. Under threshold resources, we see there are basic capabilities required to compete in the industry. Under unique resources, we see distinctive assets that offer sustained competitive, you see, advantage. Organizations must deploy resources to develop core competencies which can be evaluated using VRIO framework. Now VRIO, you see, framework, VRIO stands for, you see, valuable. V stands for valuable, R stands for rare, I stands for inimitable, O stands for organized. You see now valuable, its meaning is it offers cost advantage or differentiation. That is proprietary tech that lower, you see, costs. Then R stands for rare. Rare means, you see, not widely possessed by competitors. That is exclusive access to rare raw materials. Third is inimitable. You see, inimitable means hard to copy or substitute. That is organizational culture, historical development. Next is, you see, criteria is organized, effectively structured to exploit the resource, that is proper systems and processes to leverage, you see, patented technology. So our VRIO framework is, you see, VRIO is V stands for valuable, R stands for rare, I stands for inimitable, O stands for organized. So first criteria is V, that is valuable. Valuable means it offers cost advantage or differentiation, that is proprietary tech that lowers cost. Second is R, that is rare. Rare meaning not Rare means not widely possessed by competitors, that is exclusive access to rare raw materials. Next, I stands for inimitable. Its meaning is hard to copy or substitute, that is organizational structure, historical development. Fourth one is, you see, fourth criteria is organized. Its meaning is effectively structured to exploit the resources, that is proper systems and processes to leverage patented, you see, technology. Now critical success factors, CSFS. CSFS are areas that are essential for an organization's performance in a competitive, you see, environment. These vary by industry, competitive positioning, and environmental content. Examples are industry characteristics, that is customer service in hospitality industry, competitive position, that is home delivery in diagnostic labs. Third one is environmental factors, that is water availability during droughts for manufacturing. So critical success factors help organizations prioritize internal improvements to maintain or enhance, you see, performance. So critical success factors are areas that are essential for an organization's performance in a competitive environment. These vary by industry, competitive positioning, and environmental content. Examples are, you see, industry characteristics, that is customer service in hospitality industry, how customer service is given. Then competitive position, that is home delivery in diagnostic labs, you see. Then now diagnostic labs, if suppose you want to go for test, you see, the person will come to your house and, you see, take the blood sample. Then environmental factors, that is water availability during droughts for manufacturing, you see. So if water is available when, you see, there is, you see, droughts are there. So critical success factors help organizations prioritize internal improvements to maintain or enhance, you see, performance. So in this particular unit we have studied, you see, critical success factors. Critical success factors are areas that are essential for an organization's performance in a competitive environment. These vary by industry, competitive positioning, and environmental, you see, context. Examples are industry characteristics, competitive positioning, environmental factors. Critical success factors help organizations, companies, firms prioritize internal environments to maintain or enhance, you see, performance. Next is value chain, you see, framework proposed by, you see, Michael Porter. The value chain views and organizations as a series of interrelated activities that add value at each stage. These are classified into, you see, primary activities and support activities. So, what is value chain framework? It was proposed by, you see, Michael Porter. The value chain, you see, views an organization as a series of interrelated activities that add value at each stage. You see, say department, so many departments, each department is adding some value. These are classified into primary activities and sport, you see, activities. Now, primary activities. What are, you see, primary activities? Inbound, you see, logistics. Then primary activities, operations. Then primary activities, outbound logistics. Then primary activities, marketing and sales. And you see, next is services, after sales services and sport. So primary activities are inbound logistics, handling and storing inputs, operations, manufacturing and transforming inputs into outputs, you see. Then outbound logistics, distributing the final, you see, product, selling the final product. Marketing and sales, promoting and selling products. Then next is, you see, services, after sales service and support. Suppose any, you see, guarantee is there for 1 year. So you have to see that, you see, the customer is serviced for that. So primary activities of a company are, you see, inbound logistics, you see, handling and storing. Inbound logistics means, you see, handling and storing inputs, raw materials, etc. Then operations, you see, manufacturing and transferring inputs into final products, that is outputs. Then outbound logistics, you see, that is, you see, distributing the final product. Then marketing and sales, promoting and selling products, you see. Then services, after sales service and sport. Now, sport activities. What are the sport activities? You see, procurement, purchasing inputs, that is sport activity. Technology development, research and development, you see, innovation. Then human resource management, recruitment, training and employee relations, you see. Then next is firm infrastructure, planning, legal, accounting, quality control. So under sport activities, you see, procurement, purchasing inputs, technology development, research and development, innovation, human resource management, recruitment, training and employee relations. The next is firm infrastructure, planning, legal, you see, accounting, quality control. Now, examples, we are in this particular slide we see the, you see, examples. Inbound logistics, that is inventory control. Evaluation criteria is activities inbound logistics. Evaluation criteria is inventory control, warehousing efficiency. Activities operations, evaluation criteria is process automation, quality control, cost reduction. Then activities marketing and sales, evaluation criteria is sales force effectiveness, brand image, customer targeting. Then activities customer service and evaluation criteria is response time, warranty policy, repair facilities. Then activities human resource management, HR management. You see, evaluation criteria is training effectiveness, motivation, industrial relations. So here you see, seeing in this particular example by examples, in this particular slide by example, you see now the activities inbound logistics, its evaluation criteria is inventory control, warehousing efficiency. Activities operations, its evaluation control is process automation, quality control and cost reduction. You see how the cost will be reduced. Cost reduction will be done when we will purchase, will buy, will manufacture in large quantities, bulk quantities. Because in that, you see, fixed cost remains the same, but variable cost varies. You see, raw material will increase if you are producing more number of units. So marketing and sales, sales force effectiveness, evaluation criteria is brand image, customer targeting. Activities, customer service, you see, evaluation criteria is response time, warranty policy, repair facilities. Then activities, human resource management, you see, evaluation criteria, training effectiveness, motivation, industrial relations. Now, balanced scorecard, you see, this tool evaluates an organization from four perspectives. One is financial, that is profitability, return on assets. Then second is customer satisfaction, brand loyalty. Third one is operations, efficiency, innovation. Fourth one is organizational learning, employee growth, adaptability. You see, a holistic performance measurement tool, the balanced scorecard ensures internal metrics align with strategic goals. So, balanced scorecard, this tool evaluates, you see, an organization from four perspectives. What are the perspectives? First perspective is financial. What is the profit of the company? You see, return on assets. How much return is there on the assets? You see. Then next is, you see, customer. You see whether they are satisfied. Customer satisfaction. You see, brand loyalty. Then operations. You see, efficiency of the company, innovation. Then organizational learning, employee growth, you see, and adaptability. A holistic performance measurement tool, the balanced scoreboard ensures internal metrics align with strategic, you see, goals. Now, comparison standards. To meaningful evaluate internal performance, organizations use comparison standards like industry norms, performance metrics commonly accepted in the industry, historical comparisons, tracking the organizations, you see, past performance, benchmarking, you see, competitive, functional. Under competitive benchmarking, comparing with, you see, industry competitors. Under functional benchmarking, you see, comparing with best policy practices across industries. Each comparison method provides context and motivation for improvement. Now, SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strength, S stands for strength, internal positives, weaknesses, internal, you see, negatives, opportunities, external positives, threats, external, you see, negatives. SWOT helps in aligning internal capabilities with environmental opportunities while mitigating threats and weaknesses. SWOT analysis of a software, you see, company. Strengths are, you see, high product quality. Weaknesses, you see, slowly selling. Strength is strong brand reputation. Weakness is poor inter-department coordination. Strength is competitive pricing. Weakness is no clear, you see, direction. Opportunities are, you see, overseas, you see, market comparison, then growing product demand. Then threats are entry of new substitutes, inflation in raw material, you see, costs. So, in of a software company, what are the strengths of the software company? The strengths of the software company is high product quality, strong brand reputation, competitive pricing. What are the weaknesses of the software company? Slowing sales, poor inter-department coordination, no clear direction. What are the opportunities of software company? Opportunities are overseas market expansion, growing product demand. Then what are the threats of software company? Entry of new substitutes, inflation in raw material costs, you see. Now, internal factors, evaluation metrics, IFE helps quantify internal analysis. Steps in IFE metrics are identify key internal factors, list strengths and weaknesses, assign weights based on importance 0.0 to 1.0, assign ratings based on performance 1 to 4. 1 is major weakness, 2 is minor weakness, 3 is minor strength, 4 is major strength. Then internal factor evaluation metrics, IFE steps in IFE metrics, calculate weighted score, multiply weight into rating, add total score less than 2.5, weak internal position, score more than 2.5, strong, you see, internal position. Now, sample, you see, table, internal factor, you see, weight, rating, score. Now, internal factor is strong brand reputation, weight is 0.15, rating is 4, score is 0.60. Internal factor is innovative technology, weight is 0.10, rating is 3, score is 0.30. Internal factor is high staff turnover, weight is 0.10, rating is 1, score is 0.10. Internal factor is poor cost construction, weight is 0.15, rating is 2, score is 0.30. So total weight is 1, rating and score is 2.60. So internal and analysis is vital for identifying an organization's strategic, capability. Tools like the resource-based view, value chain, CSFS, then SWOT analysis, and IFE matrix allow for a systematic evaluation of resources and competencies. Strategic insights gained through these tools enable managers to align internal strengths with external opportunities, improving competitiveness. So, in this unit 6, internal analysis, this unit was, we have studied internal analysis. Internal analysis is vital for identifying an organization's strategic capability. Tools like the resource-based view, value chain, CSFS, SWOT, and IFE metrics allow for a systematic evaluation of resources and competencies. Strategic insights gained through these tools enable managers to align internal strengths with external opportunities, improving competitiveness. So, students, we are closing this session. Thank you very much.